the grid. 18 laps the distance, the second round of the Euro Champs. We are racing, and once again, Flavio Camponeschi rockets off the line. What a start by the TKART pilot. He will lead his teammate Marco Ardigo down into turn number 2. Right about now is when these drivers behind are going to have to make their move, otherwise the green team will walk away with it. Yes, I know we've only had 3 corners, but such has been their dominance. Flavio Camponeschi is your race leader for Marco Ardigo, Jordan Lennox Lamb, and then Jordan's countryman, the Englishman, Ben Henley, up into position number 4. Patrick Hayek is 5th from Mirko Torsolini, who's made a great start in the Ricciardo kart. The Italian is in position number 6. Ardigo already starting to catch his teammate, Camponeschi. Jordan Lennox Lamb desperately trying to work that wheel to stay in touch with the 2 Italian drivers. In fact, we've got 2 Italians leading 2 Englishmen. Ben Henley on screen in the Mad Croc. Ardigo up the inside. He's got the run on his teammate. Marco Ardigo is your race leader. Marco Ardigo has to defend. Camponeschi had a look into turn 2, but that's cost him time. He's now going to come under attack surely from Jordan Lennox Lamb. Hard on the brakes is the Englishman. Patrick Hayek's getting involved in this battle as well. It is now Ardigo from Camponeschi, Lennox Lamb, Hanley, Patrick Hayek and Mirko Torsolini. Ardigo, after making that move on his teammate, has already pulled out about a 4 kart length break. This is the second lap of 18. Anthony Abbas, after starting from grid number 3, has dropped all the way back to 8th. The CIK-FIA challenge just got a lot harder. Arno Kozlinski's made a great start. He's knocking on the door of the top 10 after that pre-final DNF across the line for the second time. It is Marco Ardigo, Flavio Camponeschi, Jordan Lennox Lamb. Down into turn 2. Look at Ben Henley lock up that MC01 under brakes. Kart number 9 on screen. Jordan Lennox Lamb though. Oh, a big move on the inside as we were watching Jordan. Patrick Hayek has gone through on Henley. We wondered if the Birrell kart, the Birrell Art kart I should say, could beat the green team. Jordan's looking pretty good. Ben Henley in the Mad Croc on the podium in the first round. He tries to take back that position from Patrick Hayek, but what about the challenge from the Praga team? Patrick Hayek now up into 4th. Jordan Lennox Lamb, he's not letting the green karts get away. Have we finally found someone who can challenge the all-dominant TKART racing team? Anthony Abbas on the back of Mirko Torsolini. The Frenchman is in the slipstream. Jorit Pex in the Intrepid right behind Abbas. Bas Lammers goes through. Bachmann, Woomberg, the 2 Cosmic Kart drivers. Incredibly, the reigning Euro champ, Rek Dreisen, is at the back of the field. You just saw a glimpse of David Foray going through. He's made up 3 places. He's now in the top 10. He's had a wretched run mechanically so far this weekend. Of course, David, don't discount him. He won the Margutti Trophy earlier in the year. He's on the tail of the Intrepid driver, Jorit Pex, as we look at Abbas make a move on Patrick Hayek. Mirko Torsolini's lost out in that battle also. Henley is starting to lose pace with his countryman Jordan Lennox Lamb, who's driving the wheels off that Birrell Art kart. He's only 0.2 of a second behind Camponeschi. There goes Hanley, Abbas, Hayek, Torsolini, Pex, Foray, Lammers, Kozlinski, Andrea Dale, the reigning Euro KZ2 champ, as we look at the red and white number 5 Birrell Art of Jordan Lennox Lamb. Camponeschi just trails his team leader. He's desperate to take that world title off his teammate. Of course, Marco won the world title in Sarno, September 2014. Flavio finished second. The opening round of the Euro Series for 2015, it was the driver from Rome, yes, Flavio, who won. He won the pre-final earlier today. You saw him rocket off the line, but Marco had a fantastic opening lap. The number 3, TKART. the driver from Brescia in northern Italy, is your race leader. Jordan Lennox Lamb desperately trying to keep touch. If he can just get a little bit closer, he will get the benefit of the slipstream on this main straight right here. Out of the goal, looks behind him. Hey, Marco, Flavio's gone nowhere. He's right on your rear tail. They come down, braking into turn 2. Jordan actually chokes the airbox going into turn 2 under braking, just to get a little bit more fuel flowing into that Perilla engine. Looks behind him. Jordan's managed to put a pretty handy gap of about half a second on his countryman Benjamin Hanley. Oh, Jordan Lennox Lamb's got a problem. Jordan's got a problem. He's dropped way, way back. He's still circulating. I'm not quite sure what happened there because he's back up to speed. Now he's fighting with Ben Henley. They touch. What on earth has happened to Jordan Lennox Lamb? He was in third, counting down the corners to make his move on Flavio Camponeschi, but he was slow out of one of those corners. It looked as though the engine just died. He's back up to speed, and now he heads a freight train from second all the way back to 17th position. Look at this. TKART 1 and 2 again. Marco leads from Flavio, then it's Lennox Lamb. Abbas now into position number 4. Had a look at Lennox Lamb that time. Ben Hanley's gone back into 6th. Make that 5th because he's just gone through on Patrick Hayek, the Czech driver in the Praga kart. Ben Hanley back up into position 5. There's the gap from your leaders. Flavio not letting Marco go anywhere. Flavio, winner of the opening round of the European Championships in Naples. Flavio also won the Winter Cup at Garda earlier in this year. But hey, Marco won the World Championship last year. The driver from Brescia leads the driver from Rome. Marco Ardiol looks behind him. Flavio is still right behind him. 0.162 of a second. Fastest lap of the race that time round for the Frenchman, Anthony Abbas. He had to think about making a move on Jordan Lennox Lamb. Well, a few moments before Jordan slowed, we saw him choke that engine. Whether that had anything to do with it, Jordan's far too experienced to make any sort of silly mistakes. He doesn't. He's one of the world's top racing drivers. It doesn't look like a gearbox problem. It's got us mystified. He's got back up to speed. He still holds third place. He's on the bottom step of the podium. But behind him is Anthony Abbas, Ben Hanley, Patrick Hayek, Jorid Pex, Mirko Torsellini, Bas Lemmers, Arno Kozlinski, then the 2 CRGs, Andrea Dale, David Fore. The Dino kart of Henry Coco and Andreas Bachmann leads Jonathan Ternon. There's Abbas, number 11, the French driver for Team CIK-FIA. Camponeschi, if he's going to make a move, I don't suggest it's going to be until late in the race. He's certainly got the speed. In fact, he's all over the back of Ardigo. Dare I suggest that he's quicker? Look at that, up the inside line. Oh, Marco does not flinch. He did not hesitate to just pull across and shut the door and says, mate, Flavio, if you're going to pass me, you're going to have to do better than that. Flavio's going to wind up that Vortex TKART for one more time. This is half race distance coming up now. Nothing between it. The 2 factory TKART racing team drivers had the Birrell art of Jordan Lennox Lamb, but he is nearly 3 seconds further behind. There he is. The Brit has recovered. He's actually now put a bit of a gap on Anthony Abbas, who looks behind him, only to find the Englishman Benjamin Hanley. There's Hayek coming under pressure from Jorid Pex. Looks as though Jorid Pex has actually gone through. Mirko Torsellini in the Ricciardo kart having a great drive. He's comfortably in the top 10, sitting in position number 8. But unfortunately, once again, we've lost the driver all the way from the USA, Gary Carlton. The Californian is a retirement. Back with your leaders. Nothing's changed. Marco Ardigo continues to lead this race and Flavio's gone nowhere. The gap to Lennox Lamb's actually come down a little bit. It's 2 seconds, which is an enormous distance on this 1.7 kilometre circuit. We can't even see Jordan until right now. He's half the length of the main straight behind, but he's put a little bit of a gap between himself and Abbas. Look at Flavio down through the gearbox. Ardigol does likewise, hammering down from 6th to 4th. Third on this, the slowest corner of the track before accelerating up. Flavio signals to Marco, get on with it. Don't let us dice among ourselves and let Jordan back into the fight. Who knows how much closer this race would have been if Jordan did not have that mysterious problem about 5 laps ago. He's back up to speed. He's circulating well. He just hit the fastest lap of the race 2 tours ago. Up through the gearbox. Lets the kart drift a little bit wide, deliberately to try and get the high line, the high run. Flavio a little bit tighter. He's now in the slipstream. This is the final corner of the circuit as they complete lap number 11. Right in the slipstream at 100 miles an hour. Down through the gearbox, both of these TK drivers go. He's really close to the back of him. In fact, he's up the inside. Flavio Camponeschi. Oh, what a move. Marco Ardigol in second spot. Flavio Camponeschi waited. You saw it happen. He set the fastest lap and then made his move on his world champion teammate. Nicely done. Let's see if Ardigol can respond. He's right on the tail of the number 14 Vortex-powered Tony Kart. The gap to Lennox Lamb as we took a look at the replay. Up the inside under brakes. He lined him up for about 2 or 3 laps. Was very, very late. Ardigol, look at the car buck and jump as he puts the power down. Almost 50 horsepower, but now the shoe's on the other foot. Ardigol is in the slipstream. Let's see if he can respond. Jordan Lennox Lamb's getting closer. The gap is now down to 1.8 seconds to the Birrell Art driver, the Englishman, in position number 3. Can he catch the 2 Italians? Well, if we thought that Flavio Camponeschi would pull away with this race after making his move, Marco Ardigol is going to have something to say about it. He's not letting his teammate go anywhere. Remember, Flavio won the first round of the series at the foot of the historic volcano that is Mount Vesuvius, Naples, Italy, just over a month ago. Up through the gearbox. Lennox Lamb in the background. He's only got 5.5 laps to catch him. Let alone get past Ardigol. That's going to be another thing. They finished 1 and 3 in the opening round. Now they're on track for an OTK 1 and 2 across the line. The gap was 0.2 of a second between the leaders, and it stays the same back to Jordan Lennox Lamb. Bachmann and Lundberg go through, as does Thomas Toyula, the Finnish driver in the Mag Croc. Mirko Torsolini's up to 7th now. Patrick Hayek has drifted back to position number 9. Unfortunately, we've lost the reigning European champion Rek Dreesen, and I'd suggest that's just about the end of the Belgians' European title defence. He's going to be classified down in position number 19. Still, we'll see Rick back for the World Championships at Le Mans, France, September 13. But before that, we have to decide who's going to be European champion for this year. Flavio Camponeschi won the opening round, leads the series. Ardigol was 3rd. Ben Hamley was 2nd in Sarno. The Englishman is back in 4th. He now heads the Frenchman Anthony Abbas. Arnaud Kozlinski's got up to position 11, but can't get any higher than that, because in front of Kozlinski is the reigning European KZ2 champion, the CRG driver Andrea Dalle. 3.5 laps remain. Flavio Camponeschi, Marco Ardigol. The class of the field, not only this weekend, but over the last 12 or 18 months, Who can put the challenge to the green team? The World Championship will be decided on French soil this year. Will that have any sort of effect? There goes Jordan Lennox-Lamb, Ben Hanley, Anthony Abbas, Jorrit Pex, brilliantly driven by the Dutchman. The intrepid driver is now up into position number 6. Simon Puhaka not having a good day. The CRG driver who won 2 rounds of the WSK Supermaster Series earlier in the year, but he sits outside the top 15. Two and a half laps remaining. Lennox-Lamb, how much closer would this race have been if he didn't have that problem on about lap 4 or 5? He was right on the tail of Kamponeski, who at the time was in second. The green team go down through the gearbox, accelerating hard up to the furthest point of the circuit. There goes Lennox-Lamb, just splashing through. Out of the goal, about 2 or 3 kart lengths behind his teammate. Flavio Kamponeski desperate to take out the European Championship in 2015. Marco Ardigo has already got 3 World Championships to his name. Henley goes through, then it's Abbas, Pex, Lammers, Torzolini, Hayek, Andrea Dalle and Arno Kozlinski. Cannot get any higher than 11th after not finishing the pre-final this morning. Well, that's interesting. The bottom left of your screen, Ben Henley, the Englishman in the Mad Croc Kart. He set the fastest lap of the race. Of course, Benjamin won the first round of the European KF non-gearbox championships in the sunshine of Portimao, Portugal, just 2 weeks ago. He finished second in the opening round of this series in Naples. He was the driver to split the Tony Kart domination in Napoli. There goes Bas Lemmers in the bottle green Formula K kart. Bloomberg, Thomas Tuyula, Simon Puhaka at the tail of the field, not having a good run. This is the final lap though, and look at that, Marco Ardigo has lost touch just a little bit. He closes up under brakes. His Tony Kart teammate is 3 kart lengths ahead of him. I can't see him catching him. Do we have a new heir to the throne? Rick Driesen is out. He will not defend his European Championship title in 2015. Flavio Kamponeski won the opening round in Naples. He's on track to make it 2 from 2. His teammate Marco Ardigo cannot respond. He's 3 kart lengths back. I don't think he can do it. Up through the gearbox, the final corners for the final time. This is the final turn now. The Italian Flavio Kamponeski will take the checkered flag. He wins again in Zuera, Spain. Ardigo second, Jordan Lennox-Lamb a great drive to take the bottom step of the podium.